Hello there. Welcome to the first episode of Midweek Steel. This is going to be a midweek sharpening series. I will be posting it in the middle of the week. It won't be a weekly thing. I'll try to do it as often as I can, but it will be posted in the middle of the week when I do make them. And this is knife sharpening. Knife sharpening is essential for outdoor activities. Today we have an Ozark Trail fishing knife or fillet knife. Now this knife is flexible. That's something that you have to take into account, because if you sharpen this knife and you use pressure, the knife will flex and you will not get the apex of the knife sharp. Particularly where it flexes, you'll also end up with wider bevels in some places, things like that. So what we're going to do, this is a Norton combination fine coarse India. And what I'm going to do, well, it's an India fine and a crystalline coarse, if I remember right. And what we're going to do, we're going to take this, we're going to find the angle of this knife, and I'm going to use these fingers to sort of reinforce this edge so that it doesn't flex as much. But understand, I'm not using any pressure. Now I'm going to come to the top of the knife. Just let the stone do the work. Now some of you that have watched this channel over time will recognize this is not my normal sharpening routine or my normal sharpening technique. I teach the burr method and single stroke, and you will most likely see some of that, but this is another way that you can sharpen. It's a way of very many people prefer to sharpen. It can be faster than the burr method, or than the single stroke method that I normally use. But that was a method that I taught when I began this channel, or began sharpening on this channel, because it's very simple and easy to understand. This is still going to be employing the burr method. We're just using a bit different technique. And you see me checking for a burr, and I have almost got a burr all the way to the tip. So I'm going to do a little bit of work on the tip. Okay, I have a burr. This is soapy water, if I did not say. Now what I'm going to do, I'm just doing the same thing, just in reverse. I'm coming along, raising my elbow. Okay, I'm not doing this. When I go around this curve, I'm raising the elbow up. Okay, so And it'll try to pop off of there. It's bound to pop off of there at some point. If you don't have a lot of control over this hand and where you've placed it on the blade, what you should understand is that if this blade pops off, and that's already got a burr on that side, and you're moving your hands together, and this, you can stab yourself. So be careful. So I have a burr. I've rolled that burr effectively over to the other side. So now what I want to do, no pressure whatsoever. If this knife flexes, you won't get a sharp edge. So you want no pressure, none. Oh yeah. And I've still got a bit of a burr, so we're going to continue to, but it's already shaving. Beautiful. And my camera angle, this stone is really big. The camera that I'm using will not back up enough so that I can get like the very top of the stone and the very bottom of the stone, just barely. Now, that's beautiful. Very nice, very sharp. Now we're going to move to a soft Arkansas stone. No pressure. And I pulled like a fine burr. Now the reason I did a second burr on this is a very thin blade, and I want to work on that tip just a little. This is a very fine, thin blade. That's why it flexes. And I just want extra assurance that the knife is going to be razor sharp. Work on the tip. Alright, now, once again, what I'm doing here is that burr that I've worked on both sides, I'm moving it from one side to the other of the very apex of that blade till it pops off, basically. And that will leave me with a razor sharp blade. I will do pretty much anything I need to do to fillet the little panfish, which is mostly what this knife would be used for, that, and to cut them up into cut bait, that kind of deal. And I want the thing beautiful. Beautiful. Want it flipping sharp. And so now what I'll do, first of all, I'm going to check for a burr. That's gorgeous. Now what I'm going to do, sorry I bumped the camera, this is a flat piece of wood that I've glued a piece of leather to. Hang on a minute. Alright. And so what I'm going to do with that now is in the reverse order. In other words, I'm not cutting with the knife. I'm going to pass it along this strop. That's what this is, if I didn't say. This pasted strop about 30 times, and then we'll be back. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And that is done. Now, if I wanted to, I could carry a small strop with me, which I will do. A small pasted strop. I have one. That's just for that. I'll carry it with me if I want to do a refresh on the blade. Say I'm cutting with it and it starts to get a little bit dull and I want to do a refresh on it and bring it back to razor sharp. I'll just do 20 or 30 passes on that and it'll be good to go because the steel is nice and soft. Anyway, that's been the video. Thank you for watching. I'll talk to you later.